The guest has arrived. David gets ready for 5 minutes of insightful conversation.
Welcome back to Trends, friends. Today I'm with Chris Stafford, CEO of Orient and Occident. We're at the Montian Tip Room of Montian Hotel Surawong, Bangkok, and you are watching Trends. Chris, you're pioneering new tented camp experiences in Thailand. Is the market growing for glamping?
It is, particularly post-COVID. It's taken a turn northwards. I mean, in terms of the business is escalating dramatically. I think recently in Phuket, we were there for the Fist show, and we were amazed by the number of people who were involved already in this business. So it is definitely a new way to develop. It's a new way to develop economically with a low footprint on the ground that we're building. We're very light on infrastructure, so we can develop a tented camp. In fact, we're developing one now, which will be open in about 9 months total construction time from start to finish. So we can then turn around and we can obviously deliver fantastic experiences to guests in a short time. And this cuts what a regular hotel development anywhere from 18 to 36 months. It cuts a lot of time out, which of course in the days that we live in these days of speed and getting to market, it helps us enormously, both financially speaking, because we tend to develop on remote land. We're not looking for city center locations. We're looking for hills, remote islands, can be on the outskirts of mangrove swamps. It can be because people really do want this connection with nature. This is what definitely comes clear from the marketing that we're doing.
But the climate in Thailand may not be ideal for sleeping in a tent. Okay, it may be a luxury tent. The humidity can be off the scale. Are you accounting for that in your design?
Yes, we are. It is, as you quite rightly put, it is a challenge. So with our tents, we have built in what we call a double insulating wall into the fabric. They're made in South Africa. They were designed for jungle conditions in Africa, but they're also proven relatively successful in Asia. There is a challenge with the tent style that we developed, and we have to compensate by working a lot with dehumidifying, the right air conditioning mix, so that it's cold air circulating around the room but not on you, because then the humidity actually exacerbates the situation for a customer experience. The other version of that, which we're also studying very closely and researching for new projects, is what we call a hybrid tent. And a hybrid tent will have ventilation around the room, cold air going up the walls, which is silent, fed by coolers from outside. And this is now being both done in. There are developments on the way in Phuket and in Bali, where they're developing products like this with pretty much what amounts to German technology. So you basically create a fixed room, but you have a tented feel. So those are new. There are so many new hybrid versions coming. I believe in the next 5 years we will see this kind of rapid construction going into places, and they're also movable very easily. I can pack up, move my tented camp somewhere else. So.
I checked in to a lower end luxury camp experience, and when I checked in, that in the kit they gave me these earplugs. I said, what do I need those for? Noise. Well, I thought, okay, wildlife, but no, it was this monstrous compressor right behind the tent. So have you addressed that in that guests are not going to hear this air conditioning unit going on all night?
Yeah, well, Daikin in particular make what they call a style of compressor where you can have up to 100 meters between you and the compressor, right? So then you can't hear the compressor because it's that far away. Used very commonly in Bangkok, actually, in bigger houses. They have these mega compressors which will feed the whole property. So yes, the technology is there to reduce the sound. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's long run worth it.
Great. And with this experience that you're creating, what about food?
Food is, of course, when you're staying in a remote area, food is everything, and it's both the enjoyment, the romance of food, the ability to be as sustainable as we possibly can is huge. Our restaurant, which is we're building at the moment, is called Rudugan, which means seasons in Thai, and basically deliberately so, because we want to change food styles along with the climate, what's happening, what grows at this particular time of year. We know in Thailand we have durian season, we have mangosteen season, we have asparagus season in October. So we have all these different times when things grow, and so we want to be in tune with that. We also want to be, I've sort of set a target for my teams at 90% within 10-kilometer range of the property, and then the balance can come from outside there. So it puts the work back to us to say, okay, we're going to work with the farmers who are around us, because we do have many farmers in our current project in Chiang Rai. We have developed with the chef methods of storage. We don't store with any cellophane wrap. We don't store food that way. It's boxed. It's covered with a lid, not a plastic lid. So all this sort of the plastic is definitely something that we're very conscious of, and I think it's particularly with food, because of course you have microplastics in food, and then you have storage methods, oils that we shouldn't use. I mean, traditionally, oils, if you go back 100 years, probably they used coconut oil. Now we use all these other oils which have been proven to be quite unhealthy. So then we're looking at olive oils, maybe avocado oils or coconut oils to cook with. So all the processes involved in what we do, we're going back. Corn, we have King Rai rice, which King Rai rice is the kind of rice that doesn't grow in a paddy, it grows on the mountains around Chiang Rai. So we harvest this kind of rice, and many Thais know about it who live in Chiang Rai, but there are farmers nearby us who have that kind of rice. So we will then use that kind of rice, plus our own rice in our paddies is non-fertilizer. It's just purely organic, and it's hardier varieties of rice. Probably a slightly more crunchy taste, but then we have to compensate that with herbal influences and other things to make it, appealing to our guests.
How many tents are we looking at on average? I've seen tented experiences that are 5-6 tents. And I've seen low-end Thai camping with 300 tents,
Right.
But obviously not there. If somebody comes and joins your upcoming new project, how many units are you looking at?
Well, we have a philosophy within our company. We call it Visama, which means to journey. And the idea is that we create trails. So we don't want any more than 20 tents in a camp. That's the maximum. So ideally what we want is to be able to create a trail with a 4 to 5 hour drive between camps, so that you can experience, and I give you the example where we're building in Chiang Rai, so you can experience Chiang Rai, you could then possibly go to Nan, and you could possibly then go into northern Laos. So our current business development activity is to find places there to expand our first, we will call that the Lana Trail. So it goes across the north of Thailand into Laos. We originally wanted it to start in Myanmar, but of course conditions have not allowed us to do that, maybe in the future. So we're looking at that in North Vietnam, we're looking at it in Indonesia, because we feel that Asia, remote Asia, still has a lot to offer, but you have to get well away from the heavily urbanized zones. I mean, to put your tented camp too close to a city is a danger, but there are nonetheless, there are many coming up in areas such as Phuket, and there are tented camps already established and are coming in more and more. And it's simply because it's sustainable, it's economical, and the cost of replacement is very light compared to a hotel.
And when you look at a site, do you also do you consider, say, a community, a temple, a village? Because some hotels operate and there's no benefit going to the surrounding community. With your tented experience, are you embracing that local community, whether it's a temple or whether it's a village?
Well, with the village that we're in Chiang Rai, we've actually presented to the community, the leader of the community and his group. We have a close connection with them, and they have walked through the property with us prior development. and they've looked at the waterways and told us where we can build and not build, and because there are actually waterways that go into the paddies downstream, which are important. So we had to make sure that we were. So that's the initial, but then on an ongoing basis, we will work very closely with the community. There's a school nearby. We actually are funded by a foundation, which is taking care of girls from hill tribes who are ID-less or parentless and have been doing it for 25 years. And so our human cause to the community is very big. Some of them are employed in our team. Some of them have been sponsored to universities to go and take higher education. So it's fundamentally very human in its connection. It has to be. I mean, we're very, very close to the land. That much of this land has been farmed for hundreds and hundreds of years. So we have to maintain the paddies because we want to make sure that the culture doesn't go away. So there's that aspect. We also filter the water, which they haven't been used to. We filter the water through reed beds. So it's circulated, it's all grey water, is circulated through reed beds, through sand, and then back into the mainstream. So the fact that we can do that with the whole property is, including the swimming pool, everything else, so it's all naturally. There's no chemical filtration. The other thing is also using, of course, bioorganic cleaning methods and all these things. So there's so much that we do in the hotel business that we have to be cautious about well beyond what we do, because we are traditionally quite large polluters.
Am I right in saying, having shared that information, that the guest promise is based on comfort, sustainability, healthy eating, and engagement with the community?
I mean, the one, when I say, basically I do want my guests to enjoy an adventure, right? So that's really important.
Can we do adventure and comfort?
Oh, definitely, because the comfort is, I mean, we're building what I call a world-class bed. I've had it tested. I know that it's up there with the best of them. So obviously the comforts of, the creature comforts of a five-star hotel are there. Right. From everything from health, life and safety, to cleanliness, to materials that we use, services that we offer. That's definitely very much up and foremost. The community is usually important in involving our guests in interactions with the community. The chef will conduct tours with some of the guests when he goes to market, and also take them on foraging tours, because we've learned how now to go into the forest and get things from the forest that we can then show them how to cook with. And so there are these aspects of learning, and there are aspects of community where you're actually dealing with people, whether it be the school children, whether it be the community itself, because we're quite close to a large village. And within that village, they already all know us. Most of them have helped us build the place. So there is a sense of that already, that we're working together to something. So that's very, very gratifying, I think, to have that around you. It's fantastic.
If somebody's looking at this video and they want to find out more, or in the future even book, is there a website, or how do they find out?
Well, our big launch is next week, and on the 26th we will launch our website, which is www.visamalodges.com, and the bookings will be open from that day.
Fantastic.
So we're ready to go, and we're looking forward to it. We're very excited, and it's going to open on November the 1st.
Congratulations.
Thank you, David.
Thank you for being with us here today, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Montian for providing the venue and hosting us today. And if you liked this episode and would like to tune into more conversation, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Today I'm with Christopher Edison Stafford. Take two.
Yeah.
Today I'm with Christopher Camera one, rolling. 2, 3, boom gimbal, and cider. Oh my gosh, it's the Hollywood production here. Chris, you're pioneering new experiences in tented camp experience. Welcome back to Trends, friends. Cut. Prefer that one.